Hey guys, welcome to the second video's 8-part series of videos dedicated to teaching you guys more about golf and how you should approach it when you're starting to be a beginner. So this video can be about the actual equipment that we use to play golf, and these are called golf clubs. So what are golf clubs? Golf clubs are basically a graphite or steel shaft connected to a rubberized grip at one end and a triangular metal head at the other end. So these golf clubs come in various shapes, sizes, lengths, weights even. And the thing is, by the PGA rules, NTPGA, all these other leagues you're going to play, they're all regulated. You can't have a certain amount of length, weight, height. So you got to make sure you find the right equipment that is actually regulation. So when it comes to regulation, you can find clubs in two different places mostly. I would suggest either going to the PGA Superstore around your area or maybe a Golfsmith. But you can also have other maybe boutique shops that sell these type of golf clubs. But I would mostly go to the big name brand stores to find the clubs, because then you're guaranteed of finding regulation clubs. So what I would say now for you guys to do is maybe research a little bit, find brands that you want. And the thing is, the stores I already named, they basically supply you with every single brand you could possibly need. So they have the Nikes, they have the TaylorMades, they have Titleist, Adams, Wilson, Top Flight, Ping, Callaway. They have all the brands you would need. So I would say research and find the club that you would need for yourself and what will fit you the best. So the thing is, they make many different types of golf clubs. So these are to name: the driver, the 3-wood, the woods, hybrids, irons, wedges, and putters. So these are all very different clubs, most of them are. Irons are about the closest together, but you gotta remember that regulation allows for 14 clubs in the bag. So a driver, a wood maybe, a hybrid, a couple irons, 2 wedges, about 3 wedges depending on how your game goes, and then a putter. So the thing is, every single club has a different loft, a different lie, a different angle that makes it look different. Even in some cases, depending on irons, it makes it go higher, lower, farther, more left, more right, depending on how your clubs are set up for you. And the thing is, these clubs are made specifically for golf in the sense that they're different levels. There are beginners, intermediates, and then there's the advanced levels. So what I suggest for beginners would be to go out and buy yourself a complete set, the whole all-in-one set. So you can buy these at Walmart even. And the thing is, these clubs are very good at what they do for beginners. They're very easy to hit, make things very easy for you guys. Now, for more intermediate people, I would recommend this. It can be used. This concept can be used for any of the levels, but this was just what I recommend. So for intermediates, I would say go out to a store and pick out maybe individual clubs that you like from different brands that fit you the best. Now, don't go too ahead of yourself, because these are very expensive things. I'll explain that in a second. But I would say go out, customize your own set to an extent without customizing the actual loft, lie, or anything. Buy yourself some clubs, maybe even used. Nothing wrong with buying used clubs. Perfectly good clubs. They just have been used a little bit. And the thing is, golf clubs are all the same. So buying used clubs doesn't make a difference. Now, for more advanced players, I would say go out and do your whole custom set. Buy the clubs you need with the specifications that you need to make yourself better. And this will come in a very advanced stage. So when I was talking about pricing, golf is a very expensive game, probably one of the most expensive in the world. So for beginners, I would say with the complete sets, a couple $100. Not all that bad, still expensive, not that bad though. Intermediate sets where it's get more expensive, because then you got to go out and buy your individual clubs. Even with used, it can get pretty expensive. And that could range from about maybe a little bit of a couple $100 to over $1,000-ish. Now, for the very advanced players, it gets very expensive. These people are the ones that use basically complete custom sets, which can basically range from that $1,000 point to $3,000 and more. So you can tell it's a pretty expensive game in the sense of playing it, but you have to have the right equipment to help yourself get better. So that's why I suggest these 3 different categories when deciding to buy clubs. So when I'm talking about these different clubs, drivers, woods, hybrids, irons, wedges, and putters, let me just explain those to you. So a driver is the biggest club that you have in your bag. This is meant to take you from the tee box to the fairway. Now, this is the longest club also, considering the fact that biggest, longest, it has to go far. So this is your club that you use to get from the tee box to the fairway. Next is what I call the wood. Now, the wood is a little bit smaller than the driver, but the thing is, it's also the next longest club in the bag, considering that the yardages are a little bit more than a hybrid, but less than a driver. So this is what you use mostly. You can even use it on the tee box, and you can go to the fairway, but most people use it on par 5s, or if they're too far away from the hole, to get it closer to the hole, from maybe a fairway to the green. So Next thing is called the hybrid. So a hybrid is basically even smaller of a head, but it's bigger than an iron, but smaller than a wood. This is also another club that you can use off the tee box if you want. That will go from about the tee box to fairway to the green. And one thing I want you guys to remember is that you can technically use any club you want off the tee box. It can be a wedge, it can be maybe a hybrid, an iron, a wood driver, but nobody really uses a putter off of the tee box. It's just not something you do. But if you want to, go ahead and knock yourself out. But back to the irons next. So basically, irons are the thinnest. They're very thin clubs. These are meant to basically get you from either tee box to the fairway or fairway to the green. Yet again, it's another long game club. Now, there are many of these in your your bag. There are about 14, or not 14, about 9 of them in your bag. And these are basically what you say more of approach shot irons, because they go from the fairway to the green almost all the time. So the next thing we got is a wedge, and this is completely short game. Short game in the sense that, like I said, 100 yards and in, and you basically got to get the wedge. It's like when you're very close to the hole, or let's say you're about 100 yards out, the wedge is what you use to get onto the green and close to the actual hole. And that's why it's part of short game. Next is the putter. So the putter is basically what we call the scoring club. It's the most important club in your bag, not according to me, but according to the pros. Is that because with a putter, you lose the most amount of strokes. You can have the better score if you can get the hole, or you can get the ball in the hole in the least amount of strokes possible. So that's what basically the club rundowns are. Well, this will be it for today, guys. Thank you for listening and watching this video. And we're done with the second video, so we're on to the third one. The next video is going to be about the actual practice areas you use to better yourself and perfect your skills in the golf world. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it, and have a good day.